Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your host Eric with Garden City Coins YouTube channel. I'm coming at you with another stream of consciousness video. I'm driving home from work. It's Masters Week here in Augusta, Georgia. Today is the first day of the Masters 2022 and Tiger Woods is playing in this Masters, so it's a bunch of excitement and energy around the Augusta, Georgia area this week. We just came out of 2 days of real bad weather. It was thundering and a lot of rain the past 2 days. So I've been kind of in a funk. I got a bunch of muscle joint aches. My left knee's been bothering me real bad. My left hip real bad. And this video doesn't have anything to do with coin collecting. But a lot of times when I start feeling bad or I get in a funk or I'm in a bad mood, I think about something that cheers me up. And for a lot of people, what they don't know is my first love in my life is professional wrestling. I've loved professional wrestling since I was a kid. I grew up on the NWA and Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the list goes on. And my personal favorite for best wrestling name of all time, the One Man Gang, which I think is just an incredible name if you think about it. He's only one man, but he's as dangerous as a gang of men. That's a dangerous guy, man, the One Man Gang. So anyway, I've always been a big wrestling fan. I've been a connoisseur of anything that has to deal with physical violence from one person to another. So I was really excited to see Will Smith slap Chris Rock on national television, unscripted. That really got a rise out of me. I should have watched the Oscars that night, but anyway. So what I wanted to talk about is I go to the gym most afternoons, and there is a guy in there who's about my size, but he's in better shape. I mean height, but he's in better shape physically. He reminds me a lot of how I was when I was a drill sergeant. That's sort of the physique I had. And he's about the same age I was when I was a drill sergeant back in the day. And anyway, he wears tank tops to the gym, and on his right shoulder he has a tattoo of a quote, and it says, "Hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do." And anybody that's a wrestling fan out there knows that is a quote from Scott Hall, Razor Ramon's WWE Hall of Fame induction speech from a few years ago. And for those of you who don't know, Scott Hall was a founding member of the NWO, one of the most famous, probably the most famous wrestling faction of all time behind the Four Horsemen. So anyway, so when I saw that quote on his arm, I immediately identified him as a fellow wrestling fan. But I could not get the courage to talk to him about wrestling in the gym. If anybody goes to the gym knows it's awkward just to walk up and talk to somebody who's trying to get their reps and sets in. You just don't do that. I mean, you don't want to interrupt somebody while they're working out unless you want to ask them if they're, how many sets they got left on a piece of equipment or something. So anyway, I made a commitment to myself in my mind the first time I saw that tattoo on that guy, and I said, I'm going to talk to this guy. At some point, I'm going to introduce myself. And so what I started doing was I started making like kind of, I'd see him and I'd sort of make brief eye contact with him, just a fleeting glance, so he knew that I was looking at him, but not enough to think that I was creeping on him. And so, as fate would have it, a few weeks ago, unfortunately, Scott Hall, whose quote is tattooed on this guy's shoulder, had hip surgery. He had a blood clot as a complication from the hip surgery. Tragically, he had back-to-back boom, boom, boom heart attacks, and he passed away. So one of the most famous people in professional wrestling history and one of the most influential people of the 1990s unfortunately passed away. It was a big deal. It was a big blow to the wrestling community and the wrestling fan base. So about 2 to 3 days after Scott Hall passed away, I worked out. It was an afternoon. I worked out, finished my workout, and I was heading into the locker room to get my gym bag and get all my belongings and head home. And when I walked into the Gold's Gym locker room, I see this guy in his work clothes, and he had partially changed, and he had a Razor Ramon shirt on. He had a Scott Hall Razor Ramon t-shirt on that he was going to work out in. And I said to myself, now is the time. It's now or never. You got to take, this is your shot. You got to take the shot. So I walked over and I said, hey man, I said, how you doing? I said, I just wanted to let you know, I saw your shirt. I said, I'm a huge Scott Hall mark. Mark in the wrestling community means you're just a massive fan. I said, I'm a huge Scott Hall mark. And I said, yeah. He said, yeah, man, it's been a tough couple of days. I said, yeah, man. I said, I'm a huge Scott Hall fan. I said, I'm a huge NWO fan. I'm an even bigger Ric Flair fan. Everybody that knows me knows the Nature Boy Ric Flair is like my favorite person of all time. And he said, yeah, man. He said, I said, yeah, I just wanted to come over and say, you know, I liked your shirt. And he said, yeah. He said, and we talked, made some small talk. He asked me if I was going to see the WWE because they're coming to Augusta in a few weeks. I said, I don't know. I hadn't made up my mind yet. He said he got tickets already. And I said, hey, man, I said, my name's Eric. He said, my name's Chris. And I stuck my fist out like this right here and gave him a little fist bump. We fist bumped in the gym. And you talk about being on cloud nine, buddy. When I left Gold's Gym that day, I was on cloud nine. I mean, I was flying higher than a 747, brother. And I was so fired up about what had happened, I had to tell somebody. So I picked my phone up and I called my buddy Mike, who I used to work with. And I said, because I told him about this guy at work. I had told him when I worked there that I saw this guy, that he was a wrestling fan. I was trying to figure out a way to talk to him. So anyway, I called Mike. I told Mike about it just so I could tell somebody because I was so fired up. And so I thought about today, my dang leg hurts, my hip hurts, and my right elbow joint has started hurting. I said, you know what, man, I got to talk about something that cheers me up because I can't be in this funk. I can't be in a bad mood. And so I thought about the fact, and then to even add to that story, right? And none of this is embellished. This all really happened to me in my life. To add to that story, this week and the end of last week, today is Thursday. This whole week I've been going to the gym my normal time, and I haven't seen Chris at his normal time. And I started thinking to myself, like, what's happened to Chris? Did he stop working out? Did he get a different job? Did he move away? And I was like starting to feel sad about it, that maybe this guy I semi know at the gym is not going to be there anymore. And then, so as fate would have it, last night I had started getting scared about it. And last night I was on the treadmill. I was walking because that's about all I could do. I was hurting all over, all my joints. So I was just walking on the treadmill. I see Chris come in with his gym bag in his professional work clothes. So I don't know what he was going to work out in, but he typically always wears some type of wrestling related t-shirt when he works out. My favorite is the NWO Wolfpack shirt that he wears. But anyway, that really, really cheered me up. And so I'm happy that I have another guy that goes to the gym who is also a wrestling fan like I am. So anyway, this had nothing at all to do with coin collecting. Not one single thing. But it was just a story I wanted to tell about me meeting Chris, the wrestling fan, who I identified because I knew the quote on his shoulder was a quote from a Hall of Fame induction speech. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I got a kick out of telling it because it made me remember about it and got me out of my bad mood. So now that's a positive thing. So if you like this kind of content, you know what? I don't care. You don't have to like, you don't have to share or subscribe. I'm just going to keep posting. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's safe. Y'all take care and God bless. And I'm gonna get off of this thing and get home and get this uploaded. So I hope everybody has a good one, and I'll talk to you next time.